Oh my gosh, you guys, look what I just got. Ah! Hey guys, it's Zoe here, and today we are going to be discussing John Green's new novel, Turtles All the Way Down. If you have not read the book, don't worry, the beginning part will be spoiler free. First of all, I'm just going to break down the main character and what sparked this, blah blah blah, the fun stuff. Okay, so the main character is Aza. Might not be how you pronounce her name, but we're gonna go with it. Aza, and she suffers with OCD and severe anxiety. Now, this probably wouldn't be so hard hitting, but John Green suffers from OCD and high anxiety. And let me just say that this book is incredibly moving. And I think that because he went through all this, it's so realistic that it's painful. If you are iffy about reading this book, I got you. Read it. There's no, I can't think of one bad thing to say that you should not read it. It's a great book. Get it and read it. Now, go. I've never wanted a tattoo before, but I want this tattooed on my freaking forehead. Put it on my face. I want the first thing that anyone sees of me is this book. I want them to look at me and they go, she must love that book. Because I freaking love it. It's so good. If I could, I would get this tattooed everywhere. I want that to be just a part of me forever and ever. But I hate needles, so I'm not going to do that. But it will be in my heart till I die. If you have not read the book and do intend to, get out of here. If you have not read the book and you don't intend to read the book, I guess stay. Okay. If you have read the book, welcome. And if you hate the book, get out. I'm kidding. No one hates the book, so throughout the whole thing is going to be spoilers. Okay. So I'm going to go through this chronological order, and I'm going to show my reaction that I did because I wrote down on a piece of paper when it happened. And I'm going to explain why it made me freak out and just how I felt emotionally when I read this book. And I'm also going to be referencing page numbers. So if you got your book, please go get it, retrieve it, open it. You can follow along with me, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. Let's go. Let's begin at the beginning. It's a very good place to start. Chapter 1. I was hooked instantly. Page 1, I was like, ooh. So I'm just going to explain. On page 1, I'm just going to read this to you. I was beginning to learn that your life is a story told about you, not the one that you tell. My heart. If anybody references authors or stories, I just die. It's very relatable for me and I freak out. Write your own story. I have to buy stuff like that because it's just ooh, connection. You have a story and you're doing it. And so the concept that maybe you aren't the one writing your own story, genius, just genius. And what's even better is that this idea continues throughout the whole freaking novel. So continuously I was like, ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. Also, if you were like me and you were a little confused on not just the title of this book, but also the cover, don't worry, because by the end of chapter 1, you figured it out, kind of. So, we finally find out that it is swirly like this because for Aza, her thoughts are like spirals, and they tighten, and they get worse, and it just is mayhem. And the best metaphor she can use is the tightening spirals. I hated the cover before I got the book. I really did not approve of it. I didn't get it, and I was like, ew. But now that I understand, I think that it's genius, and I think it's such a good cover, especially for this book. Now, let's go back to the main character, Aza. I think she's me. John Green, did you find me and you were like, hey, I'm gonna make this book about this chick? Okay, she's not me, but we do have some similarities that make her really relatable to me. For instance, she loves Dr. Pepper. I don't know anybody who loves Dr. Pepper. She lives in Indiana. I don't know anyone who lives in Indiana. I don't know who that could be. Obviously, she suffers from OCD and very high anxiety, which I do not have OCD, so she's not me, but she was very relatable for me, and it was nice to see Dr. Pepper in a book. Go to page 23, or don't. I don't know what you're doing if you even own a book. At the very end, there is a mention of turtles. I don't know if you're going to guess it, but turtles. Okay. And this is not the title yet, but in the moment, I did not know this. And I was like, ooh, part of the title, yay. It still didn't have any connection to me. I was still like, turtles all the way down, what does that mean? I was excited though, because it does mention turtles, and it says, the river was lousy with turtles. I was like, bam, title. Page 32. I finally got the feeling that I really like Davis, and I really want him and Aza to get together. Like, I began shipping them, and I was like, OTP, I love them so much. Yes, they're the best together. Please let them end up together forever. Okay, so now we're gonna jump ahead a little bit, and let's check out page 41. They're talking about boys, okay? And they're talking about how, like, boys, they all can be cute, but they don't try. And, like, if they just, like, had proper hygiene and they dressed nice, like, 99% of them would be freaking cute and dateable. And just, that is so true. Like, what the heck? And I think what really gets me is that John Green wrote this, and if he can notice it, why can't the guys at my high school notice it? Like, you guys are dumb. Okay, so I can't be all positives. We need some negatives here. And there's one thing I absolutely hated. All the words I had to freaking look up. Oh my gosh, it just made me feel stupid. I mean, guaranteed I am a little stupid, but still, like, ugh. Though now I do know some words that I didn't before. On page 45, there's these things called intrusives that get mentioned. And intrusives are basically that feeling you get when you're like at the edge of a cliff and you're like, I want to jump off this cliff. But you really don't want to jump off the cliff. It's just your brain is telling you jump off the cliff, and it like messes up your brain. Yeah, I thought that was a me thing, and I didn't know there was a name for it. So I was very happy when it was mentioned in this book, and I was like, hey, I know what that feels like. I know I'm not crazy, okay. Gotta be honest, my first impression of Davis was like, aw, cutie. And then it turned to, ew, spoiled brat. And I was just like, annoyed by him, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's like rich, and he acts like he's famous, and he does all this stupid stuff. But then I realized if I was rich, I probably would be acting the same way, and I don't want to be a hypocrite, so I was okay. And then he ended up being pretty cool in the end anyway, so like he's such a great big brother and everything, and he's so nice, and he's so sweet, and I just want him and Isaiah to be together. I feel like every single one of these characters, it's me, like, put together, like Davis and Aza and her best friend Daisy, and just all of them put together is, like, me. I mean, minus the crooked dad, because spoiler alert, I'm not dead. I mean, I might be inside, but I'm not dead. We're going to page 151, and it's talking about poetry, and Davis says this line. He says, reading someone's poetry is like seeing them naked. That one is like so freaking true. Now, the next line says, I'm basically saying I want to see you naked. Just love John Green, because one second you're like, oh, that's so meaningful, and the next you're like, what? Okay, so immediately on the next page, 152, oh my gosh, okay, spoiler, okay, she kissed him like girl power. She kissed him first. She took control and she kissed him. It made me so happy. I was like, girl power, yes. If you have not read the book, I'm gonna just like give you a brief summary of something. So, Davis has this blog where he posts like poetry and crap like that and just fun stuff. So one time, Aza, the main character, is on the blog and looking at stuff. And let me just say, I love the blog. It was so cute. I loved it so much. But the whole time she was reading it, I was like, when's she gonna show up? 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 And then she finally showed up, and I was like, yay! I was so happy because he's so sweet in that. Like, aww. And then also, the fact that he texts her and says, are you on my blog right now? And she owns up to it. Like, yes, that is so good, because if I would have been in that position, I would have been like, should I own up to it? Or should I lie and say I'm not stalking him? Which one? So I go hard for like owning up to it and being like, yeah, I found your blog and I'm not ashamed. Okay, so now this is like huge spoiler alert, like huge. Spoiler alert, big word, spoiler alert. Okay, so if you're still here, let's go. So it's right before the car crash happened. The whole time I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna wreck, they're gonna wreck, they're gonna wreck. And for me, like, I love drama in books, okay? It really gets my heart going, and I'm like really excited. And even though like car wrecks are super like predictable, like you know they're gonna come, I love them so much because I'm just like, ooh, it's gonna go down. And so when the car wreck happened, I was like, oh my gosh. And let me just say, the part with the firefighter and she has her dad's cell phone and it's broken, and the firefighter's like, is this your dad's car? I'm sure he'll be happy that you're alive and it's gonna be okay. And I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. And just, oh, it was so good. It was perfectly fitting too, with the whole climax of everything and just how it was like boom, 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 and then boom. Okay, it's the time we've all been waiting for, page 245. So, I have this thing where my favorite part of the book pretty much is always finding the title. And when I find the title, I get so happy because I'm like, it makes sense finally. And I just get so excited and so happy. And so on page 245, the title is finally explained and said, and just turtles and turtles all the way down, and just, okay, I'm gonna do my I found the title dance, okay? Yeah, I found the title. Okay, so there's been a lot of like, this isn't really a romance novel, and I wouldn't have known that, but still, I very much ship Asa and Davis, and they're like, I want them together, and on 254, my dreams were crushed, and they broke up. They can't break up, they're my OTP, they can't break up, what the heck, John Gray, what you doing? It was so sad because she broke up with him because she couldn't be like a real girlfriend for him, and just, I know, like, you gotta be, like, not everyone's the one, and it's a perfect example of, like, what life really is like, and that sometimes you don't get the first one, like, the first boyfriend you have, you probably aren't gonna marry them, or girlfriend, or whatever, but I just wanted them together. So now here is another big spoiler alert, like, big. I already kind of mentioned it, but I'm coming back to it. So, when Davis's dad dies, so there's a spoiler, he's dead, he's gone, he's bye, okay? That means the kids are getting nothing. He didn't leave anything to them in the will. And that means they're gonna be pretty much uprooted and just booted out of there. Here's an idea. Why doesn't Asa's mom adopt them? Boom, saved, fix the book. It'll be a little creepy because, like, I want Asa to still date Davis, and, like, that's a stepbrother, stepsister thing. But, who cares? That's better than them not being together and moving off to a whole nother state and then never seeing each other and becoming a part of each other's past, and just, I have a lot of feelings. We're there, guys. It's the ending. It is so beautiful and so well written. Like, that is the ending of all endings. Like, if any ending can be an ending for forever, it's this one. And I'm going to explain why. So, pretty much, this is the story that Asa is looking back on, and she's realizing that times can suck. It can feel like it's over, and it's gonna get worse and worse, and nothing will ever get better. But it's not the end. When you're young, everything feels like it's the end. But it's not. You live on, and you have kids, and you grow up, and you live another life. And it's not the end. And Asa perfectly says that at the very end when she's looking back on everything. And when she says that she won't see him again, and how it's the past, and that's okay, it's the past, and that, but at this time she didn't know that. She didn't know that she was gonna grow up and have kids and move on. At this moment, there was no way of telling. Basically, the whole moral of the story is that life goes on. If it wasn't for the ending, I gotta be honest, I might not love the book as much as I do. But because the ending was so fitting and just a perfect wrap of everything, it was so good. In my mind, Asa and Davis, they get back together and they have kids and they live happily ever after. But the truth is, that doesn't always happen, and sure, illness is still there, and that's okay, you learn to live with it. And in this moment, if you have something bothering you and you can't get through it, it's okay, it's not the end. 10 years from now, you're going to be looking back and be like, man, it wasn't the end, I made it through it. And I think that is beautiful that this book perfectly captures all that and being a teen and thinking that everything is over and trying to deal with a mental illness on top of everything. And it just is so beautiful. Alright, just saying, Fault in Our Stars, goodbye. Yeah, not my favorite book anymore. This is my favorite book. It is so good. I love it so much. Whew! Overall, I give Turtles All the Way Down an A+. It's so good. Now, since this is a mental illness book and it is probably a big topic, I'm just gonna go ahead and read it straight out of the acknowledgments. I hope that's okay. Credit to John Green, not me, because I don't want to get like fined or something. Hopefully this helps you. And yeah, okay. If you need mental health services in the U.S., please call the SAMHSA Treatment Referral Helpline. And the number is 1-877-SAMHSA7. And I'm going to put that in the description as well. Just remember that it is treatable and there is hope for your mental illness that you have. Okay, so now I'm going to leave you with my favorite quote of the book. Okay, yeah, no, it's not my favorite quote. I loved every word in this book. But this is one that I really enjoyed. And it is, life is a series of choices between wonders. And just, I love that so much. I love this book so much. Okay, if you have a favorite quote from this book, please comment it below. And if you don't have a favorite quote, I mean, don't comment anything, but you can also tell me what your favorite book is, or what your favorite John Green novel is. Did you read this? Did you love it? Did you read this and you hate it? Just kidding, no one does. Let me know just anything you want to say down below. So that's all for me today and for this video. New video every Thursday coming at you next week. Yay! And so yeah, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the notification button so you never miss one of my videos. And that's all. Stay awesome. Till next video.
Zoe, the awesome, Zoe, the awesome. Z.